Oh my, what a historical week we had this week, ladies and gentlemen. Tom Brady entered the 500 touchdown club. Drew Brees is hot on his heels with 499. And in fact, Drew made history himself as he is now the career passing yards record holder. Wow. And keeping up with that history theme, Columbus Day was this past week, and I thought about doing a show dedicated to Christopher Columbus, but I figured it might be difficult to find enough Caribbeans to enslave and or slaughter for a true reenactment. So instead, let's just talk about some different historical figures, mostly positive, as we take a little trip down memory lane with a very special historical edition of this week's recap. So, here we go. History in the making. And to start, let's take a look back at the blowout of the week. Oh, yes. Broken Helmet Touch remains undefeated, having demolished Los Lobos 152.7 to 85.32, thanks in part to Todd Gurley and his 31.3 fantasy points. Todd Gurley is a tough individual who can stand tall against any obstacle that is put in his path. Just like renowned women's advocate Helen Gurley Brown. She played a pivotal role in the empowerment of women and the sexual revolution, just like how my newly acquired running back will play a pivotal role in getting me yet another championship. With her magazine Cosmopolitan, Helen Gurley encouraged women to express their sexual freedom and break free of their bonds. Kind of like how Todd Gurley broke free against the Seahawks for 77 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, and 4 receptions for 36 yards, bringing my team up to 5-0, still in first place, and Anthony's team burning like an oppressive bra, sliding down to 11th place at 1-4. Next up on the timeline, and the Tonio goes to left Sioux-Tang Clan in his dust, 149.94 to 105.14, with the largest contribution coming from Antonio Brown at his 32.1 fantasy points. Now, when I think of Antonio, I think of San Antonio. And what do we remember about San Antonio from history class?
I remember the Alamo.
That's right. And Mexican President General Antonio Lopez de Santa Anna's brutal assault on the Texan army at the Battle of the Alamo was nothing compared to Antonio Brown's brutal assault of the Falcons D, as he posted 6 receptions for 101 yards and 2 touchdowns, including a big one for the bonus. Even Jim Bowie couldn't command enough force to stop AB en route to a big fantasy day. Brown may just go down as a legendary hero like Davy Crockett, who played a big role in the Texas Revolution before he was slain at the Alamo. Antonio Brown played a big part in your success this week, Matt, bringing you to 7th place at 2-3. Asher plummets back to 12th place at 1-4. And don't worry, of course, the good old US of A ended up winning out, even though we lost that battle at the Alamo. Just like we win everything and kill everyone and get whatever the hell we want. Anyway, let's move forward. Well, actually, we're going backward this week as Aaron's bitch shot down Ball Fondler's 122.88 to 91.8, led by her gunslinger, Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is probably the best sharpshooter named Aaron since Aaron Burr. If you recall, Aaron Burr was vice president under Thomas Jefferson in his first term, but we know him better for his famous duel against political rival Alexander Hamilton. Aaron Rodgers had quite the duel with his divisional rival, Matthew Stafford, putting up 28.68 fantasy points in the process. Aaron Burr won that duel, taking down Hamilton with a single shot. Aaron Rodgers may not have won the duel with Stafford, but his bullet passes were accurate, like Burr's gunshots, as the master marksman shot off 442 passing yards for 3 touchdowns, 1 2-point conversion, and 10 rushing yards, winning Sakina the duel and moving her up to 3rd place at 4-1. Casey falls to Sakina like Hamilton fell to Burr, dropping him to 9th place at 2-3. Even more history was made this week as Steven got his first win. by taking out Tecmo Stand 144.22 to 137.82, as Born for This leaves his winless record in the past. Enjoy your theme music this week, Steven, as your team was willed to victory thanks to James Conner, who is filling in so nicely as Lev Bell's replacement. In fact, Le'Veon has kind of become expendable. Perhaps Bell has been successfully Wally pipped due to Connor's performance in his stead. For those of you who don't know, Wally Pipp was the first baseman for the Yankees between 1915 and 1925. He was considered to be quite the power hitter in baseball's low-scoring dead ball era of the early 20th century. That is until June 2nd, 1925, when Pipp complained of a severe headache, supposedly after having been hit in the head with a pitch 2 days prior, and he was sent home for a day of rest. In his absence, the Yankees decided to try out rookie Lou Gehrig, who played so well that he permanently replaced Pipp, starting his then record streak of 2,130 straight games over the next 14 seasons, becoming a legend and Hall of Famer in the process. Okay, so maybe Bell won't be Wally Pipp this season, but with Connor's production as of late, including his recent performance of 110 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, and 4 receptions for 75 yards, the question must be brought up. Connor helped Steven get his first win, moving him up to 10th place at 1-4. Stan falls to 6th place at 2-3. Speaking of historical performances, I'm not even flexing, put up the highest point total recorded in our league so far this season, with a 186.1 to 159.4 victory over Dak to the Future. Thanks in part to 36.6 fantasy points from Isaiah Crowell, which brings me to my next historical figure, Isaiah Crowell. No, that's no mistake, as the Crow ran his way into history books, putting up 219 rushing yards on only 15 carries, setting a franchise record for the Jets for rushing yards in a single game, as well as the NFL's single-game yards per carry average with at least 15 carries, at 14.6 yards per carry. The Crow tacked on 1 touchdown with a bonus and 12 receiving yards to cap off his historic day and winning the week for Chris, moving him up to 5th place at 2-3. Reichel loses for the 2nd straight week, moving down to 4th place at 3-2. And finally, it's time for another nail-biting squeak of the week. It came down to the very end of the Sunday night game, but Team Hell Yes barely fended off Relax, 117 even to 114.64. Only a 2.36 point margin of victory for Tracy. Her savior was none other than Mohamed Sanu, who bestowed upon her team 22.3 fantasy points off of 4 receptions for 73 yards and a touchdown with the Big One bonus. Sanu was of course named after the Islamic prophet and the founder of the Muslim faith, Muhammad. And, well, out of fear of backlash from Islamic extremists, I'm not going to show you a picture of Muhammad. You know what? Fuck it. I don't give in to that kind of crap. So you know what? Here you go. Here's a picture of Muhammad. Okay, so that's actually Muhammad Sanu and not the ancient prophet. What's that? You think I'm scared? I'm too scared to put up a picture of Muhammad? What? That's what you think? You don't think I have the grapefruits to do it? Oh, are you wrong? Okay. Alright, well, for those of you who would be offended by seeing the face of the founder of Islam, please avert your eyes now, as I will be showing you a picture of him in 3, 2, 1. Okay, you may open your eyes now. Sorry if you think that was silly, but I just wanted to make sure that no one saw the picture that would be offended by me showing it. Anyway, Muhammad the Prophet was an integral part of the creation of the Muslim religion, and Muhammad Sanu may be integral for making you a prophet, Tracy, as you ascend to 5-0 in 2nd place. Relax plummets to 8th place at 2-3. Well, now that's history, and now that the recaps are a thing of the past, we look forward to the part of the show that might just go down in the annals of history as the greatest sports segment ever recorded. Okay, fine, probably not. But nonetheless, we now take the time to salute the players on your pine, putting up fantasy points you'd rather have in your starting lineup in a segment we like to call On Your Bench. Aaron's bitch, Keena, you got the marginal victory this week, but it could have been a bit more pure if you had started the Cards rookie wide receiver, Christian Kirk. Christian Kirk. That makes me think of the very Christian Kirk Cameron. You know, the 80s teen heartthrob who played Mike Seaver, then went hardcore with his cultish faith in Jesus. Oh, wait, I mean Jesus. The Cards Christian Kirk, on the other hand, plays wide receiver. See what I did there? And though the rookie may have some growing to do, he showed no growing pains this week, playing with passion, putting up 23.5 fantasy points that would have been heavenly on your squad. Too bad you were a sinner and left Christian Kirk, no, I mean this Christian Kirk, on your bench. But hey, Keena, don't cry. You got the win this week. So show me that smile again. Okay, sorry, that was awkward. Also, I offended 2 religions in 1 week. Jews, don't worry. You're safe this week. Let's keep it going. I left some big points on my pine this week, but I'm still undefeated and I got the blowout of the week, so I'm getting the pass once again. On the other side of the blowout, though, Anthony, you've started Flacco again. So we'll keep the dunce cap on you for this week. Also, you took the blue pill and kept
Mr. Anderson
out of your lineup. It wouldn't have got you the win if you started him, but you might have juked the blowout. With moves like that, it's no wonder you're 1-4. Keep it up and you may be in blue waffle territory.
That is the sound of inevitability.
So next time, plug Mr. Anderson into your matrix, because what good is 32.8 fantasy points if you leave it on your bench? Hey, at least you didn't get the On Your Bench All-Star of the Week this week, so you dodged a bullet there. Steven, on the other hand, isn't so lucky, as for the second time this season, he is our On Your Bench All-Star of the Week. Even getting your first win couldn't help you duck the honors this week because you left Kenyon Drake swimming in your reserve pond. That's right, duck jokes. What do you think of that?
That's quacktastic.
Thanks, Adam. You left 69.
69.
0.66 points on your pine. That's a foul move.
Oh my god, that is funny!
Drake took like a duck to water this week.
Shut up!
And he was soaring high with 21 fantasy points. As a fantasy owner, you're a quack.
You're gonna die, clown!
Having fouled up this week and leaving Kenyon Drake on your bench.
You blew it!
So that's another week in the history books. It really was a historical week 5, but we move on to week 6 as we look to make history once again, when for the first time in our league, 2 5-0 teams will clash to determine supremacy. It will be a civil war in the Triple T house this week as Club 5-0 squares off. So for the rest of you, set your lineups, scan the waiver wires, and good luck to you this week. But for you, Tracy, my love, remember, there can be only one. And your Smack Talk video is coming, so stay tuned.